Hey, what's up, guys? This is Big Russ, and today we're working on stuff. I had canceled my plans to go crawling today because the weather was supposed to be crap, and it's turned out to be a somewhat decent day, and now I'm a little mad that I canceled my plans. But this needs fixed because dingle dangle. And Chameleon is getting a much needed upgrade. A much needed upgrade. So, with the Ripper, do we even call it the Ripper anymore? Or do we just call it the Synthwave? Because that's what body's on it. I still haven't glued in the grill and the taillight panel. They're just press fit in. This is going to be interesting, to say the least, to change out this rear drive shaft that snapped. Yeah. And then you guys get to see the carnage that was. Because I don't think you guys have really seen the carnage. We'll see if this drops out my skid. Oh. So as you can see behind me while I'm removing screws, there's that other BRZ body. That needs to be painted, and the Enduro box with the bug 24. I am considering picking up the bug 18. Maybe not for another TRX build, but it is a cool looking body that would look good on my Mini B. And I like how Enduro designed these wheels that I can actually fit my driver in to remove the shock mounts. Yeah, look at that. I love it. Oh, come on. Get out of there. Oh, man. Oh. Guys, I have like 2 weeks before I get married, and I'm trying to pump out some content for you guys. Yeah, I know you can't see much of what's going on. But this is all real time. Like this is what kind of making videos is fun. because this is a quick, easy upgrade. Just like that. Axle out. I can finagle. Okay. Now, what sucks is this plate has to come off. And then get that up. I don't know if it was the amount of power, the torque going into this drive shaft, or what. But can you see that? It sheared off. Like, just completely sheared off. Now, I've got this Endura shaft. It's just not going to match. Like, at all. It's stainless. But it is nowhere near as beefy as the one on the front. Let's see if we can. If you can see that. It is much smaller. And I'm not mad at that. Realistically, that's not a bad thing. Because it is smaller, it is lighter. We should be able to have a decent front weight bias on this. Now, where did I put? Where'd the plate go? Bear with me, guys. That's that. Guys, I just had it. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. With the motor still attached to it. Or the ESC, not the motor. Pop that out. And then pop this back around. All right. And then we'll just How the hell did I have this mounted? Like, it doesn't match is the like the big thing here. It's like it was just sitting there. You know what? Before we do that, let's go 180. All right. And now we put it all back together. Simple, right? And all I did was just slide it in. And I'm going to do all this off camera. You guys don't need to see that shit. All right. So, got it all back assembled. The fun part of fiddling with the interior panel to cover everything back up. Yeah. So, it's hard to tell. But this front drive shaft is so much beefier than this rear. I'm hoping it holds up. I don't care for the amount of slop in it. I mean, it's mounted correctly. It just has a ton of play. A ton of play. So, that's this project knocked out. The next project is behind me. We all love this truck. We do. And if you don't, you're wrong. Because this truck looks awesome. This is probably the prettiest truck I have. And it's scratched up because it's what you do. I mean, come on. That's not even the good side. This is the good side. Look at that. Oh. I love this Chameleon paint. But we have a very important modification to make. How important, you might ask? Well, if you've been living under a rock, the number one killer of all motors is heat. And this fixes that. Now, do I remember what size these screws are? Oh. What I have is a complete replacement motor mount from Injora that has a built-in fan. You'd be like, okay, fans have been around forever. What makes this special? Well, what makes this special is the fact that it doesn't clip on to the motor. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to remove my battery tray. Oh, gotta love when a simple project turns into a million steps. So we've all seen these, the heat sinks with the motor or the fan, and it does fit on the stock Titan motors. The problem is that what happens if you're not running a stock Titan motor? What if you've got an outrunner set up? What if you're running, you can't really do that. That's where this comes in. We need to put a little grease on that. So, I don't like that. Okay, it still does have 2 screw holes. Whew. So, as you can see, thin plastic, and I have not maintained this truck at all. Like, at all. Yeah. That definitely ain't it. So what if you're running a brushless setup? What if you're running, anything else, right? Well, that's where this comes into play. And as you can see, multiple mounting holes, just like the stock one, okay? But this is aluminum. So it is also going to give me a little more forward weight bias, which is never a bad thing, especially when crawling or on a trail truck. But the one thing it does give me is a hard mounted fan. And you guys in the higher or the hotter climates, putting a fan on the motor helps keep them cool. But you can't do that with an outrunner. Okay. because where are you going to clip it to? Out. It's spinning. But what you can do is you get this little bad boy. I'm going to rotate this. And slide it up. Or flip it around. Flip it around. You can't run them but a certain way. And outrunner motors in their design do tend to run cooler than your traditional motors. And that's, purely by design. All right, let's get this locked in. And there's no good way to show you guys this. So I'm going to end up flipping the camera around once I get this locked in. I am going to put a little grease on it because she be dry. I've been running this thing for 2 years and haven't really done much maintenance on it. Like, this truck just goes. All right. So, bear with me. All right. So, as you can see, I've got the new motor mount in. We've got this little cover, and it just slots in. Like so. It's a little tight, yes. And then we have a screw that's supposed to help hold it on, which, whatever. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, oh well. All right. And then I'm missing a screw. There we go. And then that will, if you don't drop it, go right back here. Okay. I don't know if you can see it or not. We'll drop the battery tray back into place. And I'll button this up off camera. So instead of using this to clamp on, right? See, I've got these two other holes. I don't know what you guys have been listening to lately, but I've been listening to the new Blackstone Cherry album, and they've got a amazing cover of "What's Love Got to Do with It," and it's just been stuck in my head. Like it just hits. Y'all need to go check it out. Blackstone Cherry is one of my favorite bands. They've kind of blown up on TikTok lately because people are realizing that there's a Florida Georgia Line song that that they actually covered from Blackstone Cherry, and everybody's like, "Oh, Florida Georgia Line's so much better." Let me tell you where you're wrong, buddy. All right, so we have this little fan, and it just bolts right onto the motor mount. As my big fat hands are in the way. You'd be like, Russ, why do you need a fan to bolt to your motor mount? Well, like I said, if you're running an outrunner motor, you have nowhere to bolt or clip on a fan to. And, you know, if you're in warmer climates, you want to keep your motors cool. Let's be real. This Titan motor, dirt cheap. Right? We all know we can go pick up a Titan motor for like $20, I think, still. And then, you know, you just plug your fan in to your receiver. Doesn't matter what channel, it just needs to have power. It's not that serious. And yeah, we'll go ahead and resecure this. And before you guys ask, hey, where's that fancy electric screwdriver you got for Christmas? You know, that's a good question. Ask my fiance where she put it. Because I haven't seen it in like 2 months. Okay. So we'll go ahead and drop that bad boy in. Russ, why you still have the tags on your battery and your ESC? I don't fucking know. So that's on. That's on. Now. Why we no move? Okay, that's on. Ha! Okay. This is... Okay. Now to figure out which channel my fan is on. Okay, so channel 6. That is shockingly slow. So, I may have gotten a bad motor from them. And I don't know if you can see how slow that is. What do I have to mark this with? Rush, you got all this paint. Use the paint. I don't want to use paint. So it's just gonna fly everywhere. Like, you can hear that. Like, I can feel the cool air. And it looks like I may have gotten a bad motor. Because it's barely moving. Alright guys, so that anticlimactic point. Run some grease through that transmission, or that mesh. And this may be speed dependent, I don't know. It's not. It's not. So I'm gonna have to get with Endura. Best thing is, it's only 2 screws. And they're right on top, so no issues there. But for a quick, cheap upgrade, and I'm going to reiterate, cheap, they're $10, $10, $15, okay? If you get a bad motor or a bad fan, so this guy is too small to mount on there. I wish it did. because this pen sucks a lot of air. Um, it's easy, especially you guys running in the warmer climates that are like consistently year round warmer climates. Today is like 75, 80. That's warm, but you know, in 2 weeks I could be 40s and 50s. Last last week was in the low 60s, like all week. It was great. So it's beneficial to you guys to run a cooler motor. Beneficial to me to run a cooler motor. My truck runs great in the winter. Like we're talking 30 degrees outside. It does not get hot. It just goes. Um, I've got to find the snowplow. The snowplow will come back this year. I've got more weight on it. I'll be adding more weight to it eventually. And we'll see. I still have yet to do anything with this. I am allowed to run this. That these are in the rules. You're allowed to run a heat sink and fan. But, you know, I keep the ring because, you know, if I showed up to a race with that, they're gonna be like, no. I've got to get the ends and solder this together. Yeah. I got a lot on my plate, guys. I'm getting married in a few weeks. And I've got 2 bodies to paint. I may utilize this chassis. May. Let's see. I may have to Frankenstein stuff together. You know, she might just work. Might just work. Yahtzee. I don't know. I don't know just yet. I do plan on running the light bar just to have that extra stability. But realistically, this body was intended for like the C10 chassis, which I do have. I do have the C10. But I feel like I'll be utilizing some of the goodies off of this, like the axles, because they, I believe, are wider. Yeah. That's it for this week, guys. I will catch you guys when I mask off that to paint. I've got a really cool idea. Think NASCAR meets drift car. Race car conglomeration. I kind of want to do like a Gulf livery, but like drift car-esque. You know, think twerk stallion, wild, cool, maybe Falcon-esque. Don't know just yet how I'm gonna play it off. Raccoons will be involved. The raccoons have to be involved at this point in time. The Beetle is gonna get like a Moon Eyes inspired paint job, kind of reminiscent of this. And I show you the pretty side. I don't know why this side, like, I don't know why it came out so much lighter in spots. Yeah, but this thing looks so sick. I gotta find my battery. I'm gonna go run it. So, love you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Be safe out there.